Good morning and welcome to the Return Homestead. We're back in the kitchen. I have tons of produce coming in right now between what we trade for chicken eggs because we have extra and what we're harvesting already. With all the Brussels sprouts I have, I'm going to make some pickled spicy Brussels sprouts. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to start your brine. And I'm going to start with 4 cups of vinegar. Now you're going to want your vinegar to be 5% acidity. Brussels sprouts are a low acid food, so it's going to be the vinegar and the sugar that makes this shelf stable. So I have in my pan 4 cups. The next thing you're going to want is 2 cups of sugar. One. Now this recipe will make 4 pints. So you'll use 1 tablespoon of celery seed and 1 tablespoon of mustard seed. I'm using organic brown. And honestly, as with everything else, I guesstimate. But it's a tablespoon of each. I need to fill my celery seed jar. Now you're going to want to bring this up to a simmer and let it simmer so that all of your spices get infused in your vinegar. The next thing we're using is turmeric. Now turmeric makes a great dye. Keep that in mind. So whatever you use turmeric on, it's going to stain it this color. And you're going to use 1 teaspoon. And you're going to bring this up to a full boil. What you want is you want your sugar to fully dissolve. You don't want crystals of sugar in your jar. It'll make it look nasty. So we're going to bring this up to a full boil. You're going to want your jars prepared so that's clean and washed. Make sure they're sanitized. This one, like I said, is super easy. You're going to take sliced onions and put in the bottom of each jar. I am using chilies de árbol. I use those a lot. They do have a kick to them, so if you don't like it so hot, what else would you use? You could use a jalapeno. It's not quite as hot.
Bell pepper as well.
Yeah, you could use bell peppers. Whatever you want to flavor your Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to put 1 of these in each jar. And the next thing you're going to want to put in is garlic. Now you can add dill to this. Or you could take a slice of an orange and put in the bottom, lemon, and it would give it a more citrusy look. So whatever you want to flavor it with, a slice of lemon would be great in these. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, we're going to change that to orange. I normally take all of my oranges, lemons, and limes and throw them in the freezer. It keeps them there for when I'm ready to can. This is a blood orange. It'll give it a nice look. So you're going to put that in there along with 2 cloves of garlic in each pint jar. I also peel my garlic for the year and freeze it so it's ready to go when I am. Now you can zest your oranges and just put the inside. I'm putting the whole thing. I don't zest anything, that just is a real pain. Unless I'm making a cake or something. Next thing you're going to do is take your Brussels sprouts. You're going to cut the stem off, and I cut mine in half. And you're going to really want to pack these down. If they're not packed down, they will float, which is no big deal. That looks better when the jar's full. This is going to be a very simple, quick recipe. And when you're done, of course, give all your scraps to your animals. Mine are chickens. Remove any leaves that will look bad. You want your hard work to present well. And I'm just really shoving them in there. Now when you do this, you're going to want to leave 1-inch headspace between your product and your top. And then when I load my brine in, I'm going to leave a 1/2-inch headspace. So your jar looks like this when you're all done. So right here I've got my canner coming up to boil, and you want that to come to the water to come to the level of your product. You want to make sure that you put liquid as hot as the water in your canner so you don't break your jars. Okay, now my brine has come up to a full boil, and you're going to start loading it in your jars. Remember, 1/4 inch headspace. Now the one thing you're going to want to do, anytime you have big gaps like this, you're going to want to debubble it. Because if there's any air pockets in there, it will buckle your lid or possibly blow it off. Now I'm taking a wet paper towel, moistening it with vinegar, and wiping any sugar that may have gotten on the outside. It will keep your jars from sailing. You want to put your lids on, fingertip tight, don't over tighten, and start loading them into your canner. So if you don't have a basket like this to go into your canning pot, you can always fold a towel and put it in the bottom of a large pot. You just want to make sure that your liquid level is even with your product. Now if you have Brussels sprouts that have that are sticking up out of the brine, that's okay, because once this starts canning, it will shrink your Brussels sprouts down below the level of the liquid. And again, I'm reusing jar lids. I do it all the time. Just make sure there are no imperfections in the rubber around the edge of the lid. So you're going to lower your rack down into the canner. You want to be sure that the water is up to the level of your product. You're going to put the lid on. Bring this up to a full boil, and it will stay that way for 10 minutes if you're below 1,000 feet, and for every 100 feet over 1,000 you will add 1 minute. I'm at 1,200 feet, mine will boil 12 minutes. Now once your canner and your product have boiled for the right amount of time, 10 minutes plus depending on altitude, you're going to turn the burner off and let it rest for 5 minutes before removing your jars. And it's just that easy. I have 7 jars that I can now put in my pantry. They're shelf stable, they'll last for several years, and there is nothing better than seeing the pantry fill and having a grocery store in your own home. I hope you'll give it a try. You can do it, it's not that hard. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, and until I see you next time, thank you, God bless, and bye-bye.